Coach, I'll just jump right in. FAU Saturday. What's the scouting report on those guys?
Another spread offense, to do they try to spread you out, and a lot of really good athletes, from the tight end position to the running backs to the receivers. They play a lot of running backs, but five's really, really good. They got some speedy receivers, some good size, good speed, and two tight ends that they rolled through, and they both have their own set of skill sets as well. So dynamic group. Quarterback has a very live arm. Dynamic, like big-time arm. They work well together. They work well.
I guess, preparing for a quarterback of his skill set, I guess, against the arm like that, I guess what different types of plays do you want to do with your defense just to kind of limit that arm a little bit?
Yeah, I think more than anything, you just have to realize that the coverage, you got to cover a little bit longer, right? Whereas most quarterbacks, so they'll say, I'll let it go, take the check down. He's got the arm and the quick release to hold it that extra second, and he can move, right? So he can delay and make plays, and it goes down the field. So we've been stressing the guys to, hey, make sure we stay on top of the routes. Hey, let's make sure we cover and don't fall asleep, because there's several times on tape when you watch them that they'll be running with their guy, the play's over, and next thing you know, their guy runs away from him, quarterback, flying down the field. So you just got to cover a little bit longer and stay on top.
With so many new players on both teams this year, what can you take away from last year's, 10-6, low-scoring defensive kind of showdown?
Yeah, last year was last year. This year is this year. Obviously, our offense, they've been putting us some points, so that's been a tremendous help for us defensively, and we've been trying to keep the points down. At the end of the day, that's our job as a defense. Every time we step out in the field, to make sure we try to keep the points down, keep the game close, and get our offense to football.
It's Willie Taggart's return to
Absolutely.
WKU.
Yeah.
And have you, going back on film, looked at, some old WKU games to maybe see, what he may run against you, or maybe, break some tendencies that he's probably done throughout the season?
Yeah, well, Willie's been versatile throughout his career. He's done a lot of different things. He has a Stanford background where it's 22, 21, heavy running the football. He worked with Bryles a little bit, so he had the spread flavor, wide splits as well. I think he's done a really good job of mixing it all together for everywhere that he's been. So when you watch him right now, there are multiple outfit. They give you 22, they give you 21, they give you one back, 3 tight ends, they'll give you 10 personnel, but they'll give you the spread pictures with 12 personnel as well. They give you a lot, and you can tell the influence from all the places that he's been and all the systems that he's coached in.
A lot of success at this program under Tyson in these last 2+, almost 3 years now. The two teams that have kind of given the most troubles are Marshall and FAU. These final 2 weeks of the regular season. What's it going to take to kind of turn the tides and try to get to that championship game?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to start with just playing well. I think we're talking about this game first. Obviously we got to tackle well defensively. Again, a space game, good athletes. That's what the space game does, right? It makes you tackle one-on-one. Then we got to do our best to try to stay on top of the routes and don't let the quarterback, hold the ball. We got to do our best to affect the quarterback, make sure our D-line is doing a good job of controlling it. They do a good job in the run and pass. They'll mix it up. So, we just got to be on top of our game. We can't take anything for granted. They're multiple, so it's not like we only have one thing to prepare for. We got a lot to prepare for and a week to get ready for it. And, and this team's going to be hungry. We're hungry. It should be a really good football game.
I guess comparing to Rice last week and a couple of the games before that, I guess how do they match up or compare that? Maybe they run something similar,
right?
Versus in the game, that help you prepare.
Yeah, I think to be honest, some of because Rice has some Stanford flavor as well, right? So some of those run games, those run concepts show up with FAU. So preparing for that a week ago, I think it'll help us going into the game if they choose to run that. The spread offense, we've seen that kind of through middles of spread offense with quarterback run stuff. ODU spreads it out. They had a really good tight end as well. So I think each game has kind of been helping us prepare, for whatever offense we face. And I think our guys they're excited about it because it's now towards the end of the season where it's like, oh yeah, I've seen that. Oh yeah, we've repped that, and it's not so brand new, which makes me sleep a little bit better at night, but they still stress me.